Come on.
Hey everybody. Uh Happy Friday. We made it. I am having a very woman experience right now. Woman experience. Day one. It has literally and figuratively drained all the life out of me. It's 2024. There has to be a better way. It just has to be a better way. I think my thumbnails got me in trouble. And I'm new to YouTube. You guys know I'm new. And what I do is the rudimentary screenshot of whatever I'm talking about. Do some adolescent cropping, and boom, there's my thumbnail. Because when YouTube picks my thumbnail, it's always an unflattering picture of me talking with my mouth open. It's like, and a double chin. So when you scroll, down your timeline, my video come up, it's like this. So I was using thumbnails, but I think my thumbnails got me in trouble because they might be misleading, because I do reviews and commentary and all of that, and you might think you're actually looking at whatever it is I'm using. So one of the comments had been the Club Shay Shay Cat Williams thing or the Monique thing, and you think you're clicking on that, even though I put review on my title. I don't know for sure. What triggered it. So I got an email that some of the advanced features that I wasn't really using would be disabled because my video doesn't, my channel does not have that much engagement, or I'm going against community guidelines. So I've had some copyright things with the music, especially the outro music, but I have license permission to use that music because of a paid platform that I use, Adobe Cloud, that comes with my subscription to use that music. So I get a special code, and when I get a copyright claim, I submit that code. In about 2 or 3 days, the copyright is released. But I have to do that every time I use that outro, because it's not a person flagging it. It's a computer. The algorithm or whatever recognizes the tune and slaps a copyright on it. So it's not a strike. There's a difference between a copyright strike and a copyright claim. But I have legal permission to use it, so I like to get that taken care of. I'm going to limit the time I use that because it's a little bit like, it's an extra couple of steps. And so I wasn't going against community guidelines with that. When I was reading the community guidelines, I don't do any of the other stuff that could be in violation. The only thing that really stood out to me was like, oh, I wonder if my thumbnails are a problem. And I listened to multiple people, and Star on the Star Report if you're in New York, he was on the Star and Buck Wild show on Hot 97 morning show. Miss Jones was on there. Him, I think he's like almost 60 now, but he looks good. I never really knew what he looked like because he was radio. So I didn't even know what he looked like when he happened to come up on my suggested content. I said, I wonder if that's the same one. And yes, it's him. So I never knew what he looked like. I didn't know he was high yellow or biracial or none of that. But anyway, he mentioned something fleeting about, and I'm going to preface to say that he does have a service where he helps up and coming content creators as far as marketing and research and stuff for a fee. But he had mentioned something about um, be careful when you just take images from like Google search and use them as your thumbnails. And I was like, I don't know. So I see why. But anyway, to rectify the problem, to be in good standing with YouTube again, I had two options. To build more good standing with my channel by increasing the interaction or whatever, or to upload an ID to get verified. Now, YouTube is owned by Google. My phone is Google. Everything I use is Google. I was not apprehensive to upload my ID because it's already uploaded probably somewhere on a Google server somewhere already. Wanted to verify my birthday and my name, because although the moniker is aired static and this is a business, everything is under, my real name as far as legality. So I didn't mind doing that, especially since my ultimate goal is to be monetized, get advertisement, and garner, get revenue. Eventually, you're going to have to get verified, because who the fuck are they sending the checks to, right? So I did that, and it got accepted. So now I'm verified. So now you guys can be much comfortable in knowing that I am a real person. I am not a troll. It's not a fake account. I am now verified, which is nice. So all of that was released from my channel, my Google account. So I'm good with that. We all good. Everybody's friends. I have to now learn another skill of making my own thumbnails. I did a little bit of research, but Eve's curse is really draining me. So what I'm doing is I'm still going to use the celebrities, because you guys should know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to make custom thumbnails, remove the background of the pictures, add my face in it on my logo, and really personalize it, which is time consuming. Or if I don't have time, I will just screenshot a flattering picture of myself in the video and use that so that my mouth isn't wide open. So update on, and tomorrow I'm going to an engagement party. Shout out to y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow. Congratulations. I will be there, although I am dying. I know how to pop some pills and go have fun and celebrate love. So let's talk about an update on what's going on across the pond. So in the hood, the ghetto, the trenches of Buckingham Palace, because the White House is in the ghetto of Washington, D.C., apparently so is Buckingham Palace, is also in the ghetto. Pierce Brosnan, Pierce Morgan is what I would consider to be their Anderson Cooper. Although Anderson Cooper, that's what I would equate his celebrity to, as far as news and commentary and reporting. Although there's things that Pierce Morgan has done that Anderson Cooper would never. I'm just saying his level of celebrity and the worlds that they occupy space in would be that genre, right? If you don't know who Piers Morgan is. He really went in on Meghan Markle, really didn't like her. And then it got really personal. And then we found out it was personal because apparently he was eyeing and peacocking for her attention. And she ended up going to Harry's corner and he felt some kind of way. But anywho, the UK has really censored the news and stuff that's been going on as far as the scandal with William and Rose and another baby and Kate missing and being anorexic and 80 some odd pounds and having a mental breakdown because not only did Prince William have this affair and this child, but he ultimately wants to be with her. But anyway, they had censored the media over there, but you can't censor the media over here. Well, at least they tried, and TMZ got caught up in a lying propaganda scandal where creators on TikTok really has shaken their credibility and really has dwindled down TMZ to like a tabloid, unreputable source like The Sun or the Star magazine that used to be at the checkout counters at the supermarket that the people then would read while they're waiting in line and never buy unless you were an old conspiracy theorist. It would be headlines like "My wife had an alien's baby," and saying that they put the picture through some machine and it's true and yada yada yada, and people broke it because people got time. People got time, and broke it down. And then TMZ was like, "Oh, how dare they give us a fake picture? You knew and you got paid and you thought it would work, but it did not." And it was creators on TikTok that really was like, no, gotta do better than that. Try again. But anyway, so the news and the rumors were very alive and very easily accessible over here and probably in other countries too. And then the people of the UK were the being shielded as much as possible, but they got friends over here and the friends was telling them what was going on. And so now Piers Morgan now is in this documentary really backpedaling on the initial reports to saying pretty much, I'm summarizing, that us dumb, uneducated, stupid Americans didn't know what the fuck we were talking about and we're stupid. And now he's saying like, yes, there is a possibility that she has had a nervous breakdown, and yes, he could see that she's lost a lot of weight and looks unhealthy. Yeah, because um it you eventually have to come out and say the truth. And so now the thing is, like I said in my other video, that I don't think this scandal is going to destroy the monarch, but I'm starting to rethink that it might. And it's not the scandal per se that would kind of rattle or dismantle the monarch. It's the lying and the hiding, and the playing in people's face. Not necessarily the scandal. I don't think the scandal would be a problem at all. It's the going out your way to hide the truth from the people and making them seem like they're going crazy if Kate does not come back. And what I mean by come back is resurface and go on with her life like Diana did. Resurface, go on with your life, still be a mother to your children, and seemingly get over and move on because the people like you, the people love you. But if you become destroyed by this, it is another stain on the history of the royals and how they destroy people, the regular people, how they destroy the regular people for their own sadistic pleasures. That's what I think the problem. That is definitely where it would be. Now, I don't think it would like dismantle it, because that would be like a whole change in government and the way they govern. But I think the celebrity and the salaciousness of it all, that will go. You would just be literal statues, figureheads, and all of that jazz. And the power that you have, like they really don't have that much power. There is a whole parliament, there's a whole prime minister, there's a whole thing. And the prime minister, pardon my ignorance because I'm just a dumb stupid American, would be on par with a president. That's what I think a prime minister is. And parliament is somewhat like our Congress. Am I right? I think so. um So it's more like figureheads that are very expensive representations of the country and liaisons for the colony. I'm going to talk about Candace Owens. If you don't know who Candace Owens is, where have you been? Candace Owens was on the Breakfast Club, and Charlemagne asked her questions about how you can critique and comment on Black families when you yourself are not in a Black family, because Candace is married to a Caucasian man, and together they have 3 biracial children, obviously, because she is a staunch Black woman and he is a creamy white man who hails from the Caucasus Mountains. There is no if, and, buts, or maybes. When you look at Candace, you see Black. When you look at her husband, you see white. And she says when she looks at her husband, she doesn't see race. I always found that to be hypocritical. Not hypocritical. I always found that to be kind of a falsity. When I look at my husband, I don't see a Black man. When I look at my children, I don't see a Black boy and a Black girl. It's just not reality, because that's not what they are. So for Candace to say when she sees her husband, she doesn't see a Black man, a white man, I think what she means, or what I interpret it to be, is when she first looks at him, that's not what registers in her head. And that I understand. When I look at my husband, I don't see white presenting Puerto Rican. I see my husband. I see a man. I see my husband. I see the father of my children. That is not a thing that registers in my head. But when she first walked up on him and didn't know who he was, the first thing she saw was a tall white man. Now he's her husband, the father of her children, her life mate, her partner. No, that's not the first, second, third, fourth, or even 10th thing that she sees. Their relationship has evolved. But if we are in a room, I can count how many white men there are. I can count how many Black men there are. I can count how many Black women, Hispanic men, by presentation alone. Whether that's accurate or not, that is how I see you. That is how I'm going to classify you. Unless I have a conversation with you or specifically ask you what or who you are, your impression is as such, and that's what I see. I think that's what she means. He's no longer a white man to her. He has evolved into something more. Same with my husband. I don't see a white presenting Puerto Rican. He is my husband, the father of my children. He has evolved. So I think that's what she meant. Also, I only watch the clips. I don't watch the whole things. I don't have time, because I'm married for love and not money. Therefore, I have to work. So I understand her saying that. And I also, as someone who critiques about the black community, the black family, the state of black men, just going around creating a single parent household, who also champions for black love, who advocates for black love, who relishes in the wholesomeness when I see two dark skinned people together in life and in love, and I see their beautiful chocolate children. I understand the sting when somebody challenges that for you, because you yourself are not in that situation. I get it. The same thing, that Dr. Umar says, that he can never be with anything other than a black woman. I get it. Dr. Umar is in that space. For him to be such a strong advocate of all the things I just said, and the Pan Africanism and all of that, to then go be with a white woman, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. I used to think that you can't help who you love was the dumbest shit I've ever heard. You can help who you are attracted to and all that. I used to think that that was dumb. No tea, no shade. Before I met my husband, I would never have thought this would be my partner. This would be the father of my children. No. But you cannot help who you fall in love with is the realest shit I have ever heard. Because the way my life was presented, the way I had my life set up, this was not what I had planned. Now, I'm an atheist, but I love metaphors and similes, and I love little sayings. And one thing that I heard was, tell God your plan so he could have a good laugh, right? Or something to that effect. Um, my plan was to be with a black man of heavy stature, taller than me, older than me, but not more than 5 years older than me. Um, and we were gonna have children, and he would be much darker than me, and I would do my best to reacclimate black melanin into my DNA, my lineage. That was my plan. He was gonna be a hip hop head like me. He had to have a love of music the way I did, and love food like I did, and could cook and all of that. I went total opposite, right? Um, my husband looks nothing like me. He's tall, he's skinny, he is older than me. He can't cook to save his fucking life. We don't have the same type of music likes. I wouldn't call him a hip hop head. He has hip hop knowledge because he grew up in the Bronx. But as far as a ride or die hip hop head like me, no, he's not that. So, yes, I agree now, by growing up and being in a circumstance, that you cannot help who you fall in love with. Also, she said something that you tend to be drawn to your IQ. Yeah, yeah. Me and my husband are definitely equally yoked as far as intellect and education and all of that. Yes. Um, we have different talents. Um, we are smart with different things. We're not smart on the same stuff, but we're smart in what we're smart at. We're smart at. And I think that works because we don't need two people being good at finances. We need one person being good at finance. We don't need two people being technical on things and not organized. We need one. So we're very good at filling in the gaps to make a very whole, well-rounded adult. I bring 50, he brings 50. Together we make one good, perfect, functioning adult who is good at all things. Ignorance would say Candace talks white, Candace acts white, da 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 da. And by definition of ignorance, yes, she does. She says to Charlemagne, "You have no idea what goes on in my head and the things." And I could be, no, basically, I'm thinking she's saying I could be a bit much. I'm intimidating. I'm strong willed. I'm this. I needed a man who can handle that and can hold his own. And I think she would still be trying to find that black man that would be comfortable in that space for her. And I think that's what happened to me, with me. Why my many relationships with black men did not work out because of my personality. I could not find a partner willing, for lack of a better term, deal with all of this, that could handle all of this and not feel like his masculinity was being attacked or in jeopardy. I have very masculine personality traits that would be considered masculine. I'm very take charge leadership. I'm a Capricorn by every sense of the definition. Um, I have very big dick energy, and you have to be very secure in self to be with me. And unfortunately, the black man has been beaten down by society so much. They're not, but at least the ones I had access to. Their masculinity is defined by their control of a woman because that's all they know. That's all they know how to do. How to do it. That's the only way they know how to do it is to be the man of the house. My if their father was around or my father was the man of the house, and they get their power from leading their family. They cannot get their power from self. And I cannot be with a man who got his power from leading his family because I'm the leader. Um, and I'm not changing. And I wouldn't expect that black man to change. I'm not saying this to say that, oh, the black man should change to accommodate me. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not even saying that a man finding his masculinity and leading his family is wrong. I just said that I just can't be with you and you can't be with me. Different strokes for different folks, but might be good for one and good for some. Did I say that right? I'm just saying what I am and what I came across. It clashed. It didn't work. I tried to be a submissive, and I was so depressed because I had such strong trust issues that I could not release myself in time to fully trust. Now, mind you, my longest relationship is my husband, literally. And before that, my longest relationship on and off was like 2 to 3 years. That's it. I was the queen of 6 month relationships, maybe a year, because we didn't work. And we ultimately argue and fight, and we did. Me and my husband, we argue and fought, but we definitely now, after 13, 14 years, have learned each other. I have learned who he is, and he's not going to change. And he's learned how I am. I'm not going to change. Now, that's ignorant to know, like, you've never changed, Nicole. Absolutely. Has he changed? Absolutely. But by core definition, are we who we are? Yes. Yes. I'm still the planner, the thinker, the organizer, the start the businesser, the do the taxes, the take the risk. I also have backup plans. He is when we had the car that needed repair, he was that. He's the supporter. Um, he's the one that would work the 2 to 3 jobs if we had to. He's the one that um I'll take the kids, you just go to work. Like, we have a summer camp situation where the summer camp starts at 8. I have to be to work by 8. And I'm like, he was like, I'll take him. Don't worry about it. Like, he's that guy, right? Where if he came up with it on his own, I would be uncomfortable because that's me. I have to have that. But where I can't figure it out or make it all work, that's where he comes in. And when I tell you that man is wholeheartedly super duper secure in himself and his masculinity, it's admirable. I'm often envious because when I go into these manosphere red pill spaces and my husband is attacked and I show him and he goes, "What the fuck do I care?" People, family has questioned my husband's sexuality. You sure he's not gay? You sure he's not this? You sure his voice is kind of high? Are you sure? You sure? And people might be saying, "Girl, why are you talking about this with your husband?" Because he's super secure. He does not care what people think of him. He's like, because DL brothers are out there. I've asked him, "Are you gay? Are you attracted to men?" You can ask me. He said, no, no. You could believe me or you can't. No. If I was, I would tell you. And I go, "You don't feel like angry when," he's like, "No." And I'm like, damn, you're right. He doesn't care what you think, anything like that. He cares what he thinks. He wants his body to look a certain way because of him. He wants this because of this. He wants this because of this, not because of what anybody else thinks. And it's admirable. I admire that. So I could freely talk about that because he does not care what people think. I also don't care what people think, but I am a lioness and I will defend mine. But if I don't have to, I don't have to. He's been called a simp, a beta. He does not care. So back to the monarch. I don't think that this scandal will dismantle it because you're talking about thousands of years of a system that's probably here to stay. But the influence that the royals have, yes, absolutely, that would be affected. As far as the government and the legalities, no, because they really don't have any power as far as decision making, because there's a prime minister and parliament and all that good stuff. So yeah, they're pretty much a very expensive figurehead family and representatives for the country. But definitely something is going on because Barack Obama had a meeting with the prime minister recently. So something's going on. Um, I don't really tend to care about the struggles of people with affluence and influence, but I could understand and sympathize, not empathize, but I could sympathize with what she's going through. Just as a just as a woman with children, and having a man and all that. Yeah, yeah. Um, and I'm not saying what he's doing is wrong because I don't know the circumstances in how William and Kate got together. It seemed very arrangey for me, even though they said it wasn't. And he's, needs to be with who he loves. Unfortunately, there's going to be some collateral damage and you're going to hurt some people, but hey, Sarah, Sarah. Bye.